R, S, and T. Wait for a while. T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. So using this alphabet, we are going to shift each letter of the if each character or letter of the plain text using four shift going moving forward on the moving forward to the right side. So towards the right. So example, we have J and then you shift from J four shift going to the right. That's our ciphertext would be so cipher text. You have here J. So J is here. So using the shift key for JK 1, 2, 3, 4. So the value for J in ciphertext is N. Okay. Next is O. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's T. Ayan. So T. Ayan. And then we have here another is let's say H. So H that is here 1, 2, 3, 4. So L. And then we have N. So N is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's R. So meaning to say this is the ciphertext for Jan. And you can also do that for Paul. Okay, so NTLR. So who could imagine that a message that you are trying to send is actually Jan, but in the once you open it, you are the once it is opened by someone, it is actually written in a form of NTLR. So using of course the shift key, or yeah, that's the Cesar ciphertext encryption. So now we are going to write a program that does this one. Okay, any questions so far? Asa, 4J, 1, 2, 3, 4, unsa? Sa N, sa J, O, 1, 2, 3, 4, ay, what I mean, sa O, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, dapat S, okay, sorry. Actually, mali ang keyboard. So we have mali ang keyboard ang keyboard ang mali. So that is for oh no. So we have dapat S ni dire. Tama? J 1 2 3 4 and O is 1 2 3 4. So S. Okay? Thank you for that. So this time we are now going to implement this in a code or in a program. So let's go now to Eclipse. So let's create a program that does that encryption. So let's say we have test Cesar cipher text. So yeah, this is our tester. This is our main program. So before we are going to create an ADT for our Cesar ciphertext. Let's discuss a few concepts on how are we going to convert a certain value or a certain character into another character. I mean, how are we going to shift? So if you try to if actually this is how you do it now in shifting from one character to another character. As we all know, character is a numeric value. So once you actually add a certain character by any by number, it is considered as a character. It will be converted automatically as character. Let's say for an instance, we have here character that says you have here C, okay, and then you're going to add 2 by no add 2, so meaning C plus 2. That's when we are going to display this in our program. This would give us what? So the character C is going to be shifted to 2. So as a result, this would give us E. Yan, no? So this would give us an E character. So there, no? E. So how is that possible? So again, character C is considered as numerical value once it is added by a number, and since our holder is CH, it's the character, it is automatically converted into a character. So let's say for an instance, we have a string value. Let's say our string is Jan, okay? And that's it. And then we'll just need to have a looping statement for that para i-convert na to per string or per character in the string. So let's say we have int I is equal to 0 and all other characters of str. So using the length and then I plus plus. Okay? So now that we have already here the Jan as the value of str, we are now going to visit per character, and then let's say we are going to shift, or our shift is, or our key is, let's say 4. So all we just need to do is we are going to shift by 4 now for every character of the str. So let's have a string holder which is used for concatenating the value after shifting. So let's say we have hold plus equals, okay, and then this time we are going to we are going to visit. So how are we going to visit the character of the string? By, okay, using carat method. So this time we are going to shift by key. Now, as you can see, it's similar to what we did right here. However, if you are going to display this in your program, we would probably arrive different or different output. So wait for a while. So let's say we are going to display hold. Okay, so let's run the program, and this time it would give us 1 1 1 0 1 blah blah blah, etc. Now it is because of, okay, why? It is because of this one. So it's considered as a number value, and it's a number value, and it is concatenated to a string. So what we'll need to do is we will need to convert this into a character value. So typecast nato siya into character before nato siya i-add into, before nato siya ibutang to hold. So how do we do that? We just simply typecast the value. Okay. So by typecasting, we tell the compiler to, okay, to change, okay, to typecast the value of each character by adding number, which is let's say key, okay, by adding it with that specific value, let's say j, with that specific value, and then before we are going to put that in a string, we'll need to first typecast it into character. So with that, we're able to come up with the value NSLR, which is, if you try to look at it in our program based on in our in the concept that we made for Cesar cipher is NSLR, the same thing with what we have right here. So how is that possible? So it is possible because of the um, ASCII code. No? So ASCII code means, so yan ang ASCII code, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. No, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. As we all know, every letter in our alphabet has corresponding ASCII code. So for A, I'm not sure if for A is 97. Is it 97 or 95? Let's try. So we have here character. Yeah. So character. Try na to ha. To prove if it is really, so character 95. So the character 95 is actually, o delete siya, letter, try na to 97. So that's A. So meaning to say character 98 is B. So ASCII code 98 is actually, when it is converted into a character, it is B. So yan. So the same thing with, so when it is, this is 97, the same thing with let's try 65 for capital letters. Yan, very good. So this is basically small or lowercase a, and this is basically the uppercase a. So using ASCII code, since we have here Jan at it is written in a lowercase form, therefore we follow this one. So the ASCII code of J is probably what, 4, that's 90, how 100 plus na, no? So let's say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. That's 97 plus 10, probably 107. Am I right? Do you follow? So H, I, J, 106 lang di ay. So 97 plus 10, that's 106, no? So probably 106 is, this is J, okay? So again, 97 is the A. And therefore, what I am trying to elaborate here is that when you are going to add J, okay, when you're going to add J by, let's say, a shift to 4, okay? So this is the first character J. In a shift nimo by 4, the ASCII code of J is actually 97, 90, pila to, 106. Tama? Okay? And then plus the key, which is 4. So it would give us 110. So therefore, 110 is actually, what is that? N. Okay, let's check. So if the character N is actually 110. So 110. I mean I mean lowercase n. So that's it. It's n. So that is how our computer converts our characters. So, question. Do you have any question? Am I understood? Nakuha, class? Do you follow? Hello? Hello? Okay, good. So, meaning to say, for every character in the letter or in our string, it is it is read as ASCII code. It is represented by an ASCII code plus the key, okay, plus the key. And then since we have the loop here, every character is read JOHN plus 4, and then the equivalent ASCII code for that will be converted into a character, and that is what they hold is going to hold, no, and what is going to be held, something like that. So however, there's a problem with, let's say, for an instance, we have Johnny, and then if you're going to shift Y to 4, moving forward or moving to the right, that's Y X, QR is Z. So if you're not going to trap the value for the Y, no, because again we only have like pilagani 26, no, in the alphabet, in the English alphabet. And then as we all know, we have actually a lot of characters in our keyboard, and it is represented by an ASCII code. So meaning to say, an ampersand could have an ASCII code, sharp at, or something like percent, or anything na makita nimo as a character of our character in our keyboard, shall have representation of ASCII code. And once mag-shift siya, that is going to be parang more than to the Z, it's going to capture what? It's going to capture the ASCII code of the special characters. So like for an instance, Y. So if we are going to include Y in our string, it will give us another character, which is not, wala na siya sa scope sa alphabet. So that is what we are going to do later on. Okay? So, but at least you're able to know now that this is the motivation in which this is how it is converted into. I mean, this is how we actually shift or do the Cesar cipher shift. But of course, this is not what we do here in data structure. Okay, what we are going to do is we are going to create an ADT for our Cesar ciphertext. So to do that, we are going to create a, so I know, dili na ako explain sa inyo ang ADT, what is the reason why we do ADT. So we are now going to create a Cesar cipher encryption, and then in here, dili ta maghimo og ato ang algorithm. Okay, so what are the components of Cesar cipher? So first is we should have a plain text and together with the ciphertext. So again, the plain text is the original message while the ciphertext is the encrypted message. Okay, then probably we would have a key or a shift. So it depends to you, no, kung key or shift imong gamiton, but this time you have key. So I guess these are the basic components of what makes up a Caesar ciphertext. Now we can actually instantiate it by, I mean, we can actually create a constructor for our Caesar cipher uh, by, yeah, so by initializing our plaintext and ciphertext into a null or initial with that initial value. So it is important for us to initialize our plaintext and ciphertext to have this value because as a string, once you don't initialize it by any value, it will automatically initialize to null. So the Java will automatically initialize it to null, and once initialize niya to null, the moment we concatenate a value with the string, it will have a null value. Parang isumpay niya ang null value. So kaya it would be safe if we are going to initialize our string by this one, no, meaning it's an empty string. And then for our key, we can have like 0 for our key. So this is a typical constructor. So this time we can ask the user to like create a plain text or create a setter and getter like transformers and observers for our encryption or for our processor ciphertext. So if you want na si Java mag-generate for us, we can actually make use of this IDE Eclipse to do that setter and getter thing or transformer and observer. But we can actually create our own like set tapos set plain text. Yan. So something like this one, no? Or yeah, you can actually go to source and then generate getters and setters. All you just need to do is select all and then generate. And there you're able to come up with a, okay, Java knows already that, no? If Java knows already our intention that we are actually trying to create a setters and getters for each of the member of our ciphertext, like plaintext, ciphertext, and key. Okay, so now that you have already setters and getters, yeah, it's up to you. We can actually arrange them. We can actually arrange this to like we are going to arrange them in by setters and by getters. So para dili ta malibog. Yeah, so this is like your setters or your transformers. Okay, and this is all your getters here or your observers. Okay, all right. So at this juncture, we have already setters and getters. Of course, once we actually call it here, so we can now erase this one. So once we instantiate the Cesar cipher, Cesar cipher ADT, let's say Cesar, new Cesar. What happened? Yan. Okay. So let's say we are going to set the plain text. So Cesar.set plain text. Let's say our plain text is John, and then we are going to also send or set a key. Let's say our key is 4. Now, of course, if we are going to encrypt it, Cesar dot uh, set ciphertext is the one that the Java generates. However, I don't want to name that for generating ciphertext. I want to create my own method for that, no, para mas clear, para mas I mean para mas clear ako ang method. Okay, I'll be the one to create that. We will be the one to create for this one. Instead of ciphertext, we are going to change this set ciphertext into encrypt. Okay? So encrypt. So there you are. You have here an encrypt message. So as we all know, encryption does not display directly ciphertext and does not even display, it does not even get any value from the user like ciphertext. So once we set the plain text, okay, so therefore dapat we will need to remove this one, and then we do the encryption process using Cesar ciphertext. Now how do we do that? So to do that is we'll need katong earlier atong gibuhat ganina sa test Cesar ciphertext. That's what we actually do. So we have hold, okay, and then let's have a character ch, okay, to represent the shifting of per character in our string, okay, and then we'll have a loop. So dapat dahil wala na to erase kanina anyway. So I is less than 0, I is less than. So where do we get the plain text? Because we don't actually put it right here. We can actually call the get plain text or simply the plain text. Yan, simply pwede ra plain text diretso. Okay, so it's up to you. Either you use the method or you use the data member. Anyway, you can use any of this, no? Either the plain text member or plain text attribute or the plain text. So it's up to you, but in my case, I will just use the plain text directly. So this time, I'm gonna be getting the length of that plain text, and then after that, I plus plus. So now, I am going to visit per character of the plain text using the character ch. So ch is equal to plain text, okay, plus that char at, by the way. So char at to represent the character per character of that string plus the key. So, and then after that, diba, I've told you earlier of we'll need to typecast this one into character. Okay, so i-typecast na to siya into character before we can actually store them to hold. So, in here, pwede ra directly atong buhaton would be something like hold plus equal to plain text. Which is what we that this is what we did earlier. But para formal, we can actually use hold, ch, and then before we actually concatenate it, at kailangan sa nato mahibalaan si ch. But then again, pwede tra gihapon tong ganina, no? Like hold plus equals to char without even using ch. Okay? So, and then after that, yeah, actually, instead of hold, let's say instead of doing this into in your program like cipher text would have the value coming from the hold, so why not, no, why not mananap bitaw, why not diretso na lang mo mag use og cipher text rather than hold. So kumbaga, the cipher text will have the value which is in the encrypted message once we perform encrypt. Okay, so after that, when you call the observers get ciphertext, of course the ciphertext equivalent of the plain text will be returned. Okay, so let's try to do it here in our program. So we have here, so since it's a value returning ang ciphertext, kailangan nato siya or yeah, get ciphertext. So we have Cesar dot encrypt. Okay, so I've already set the plain text Jan and set key for, and we do the process of encryption, and then uh, we are going to call the get ciphertext. So okay, when we get to run our program, this would have NSLR. So that's one of the ways that we can do in doing encryption using abstract data type. Okay, so that's another one. And there are actually a lot of ways to do it. There are actually a lot of things you can do in your ADT. No, there's no one stopping you from doing that. There's no one stopping you from reinventing your method. Like for an instance, instead of I instead of this like this, I sir, what if I'm going to, I'm going to create a constructor that would allow me to, or allow the user to directly put in a plain text. Is it possible, sir? Yeah, of course, no, it's possible. Together with the key, you can actually do this, like plain text and key, or you can simply exclude key, and then you can create another that would have altogether, no, put in plain text and key. But this time, why not mananap bita? Why not we do this like a plain text at the same time with the key? So of course, what you will do right here is you will need to update the plain text by the plain text coming from the user, and the ciphertext should be declared as no value. So let's say we don't declare ciphertext as empty value. So what will happen is that, so let's say we will also include key. So I'm gonna try this one. We don't include a, or we don't initialize the ciphertext. Let's try if ever na mags if we do ciphertext here, let's try. So we'll create another object of Cesar cipher, and then let's say we are going to use Cesar1, and then this time we'll be using the overloaded constructor, which is, let's say we will be assigning Jan. This one is possible because we just created a constructor, a parameterized constructor that overload, that is actually, that has overloaded actually the our constructor. So let's say we have 4 here, and then so meaning to say you don't have to call set plain text and set key anymore. All you just need to call is Cesar1 dot encrypt. Okay, so Cesar1 dot encrypt does the encryption of Jan and 4. So let's try another word na lang. Let's say hello. Okay, and then we are going to call Cesar1 dot get ciphertext. So if we are going to run the program, let's try if it will give us yan. So as you can see, you have there null. So null is considered as a value when we get to concatenate it to ciphertext, kasi we don't explicitly initialize the ciphertext as an empty text, or as an empty string. So therefore, that's what I have told you earlier, na kailangan na to explicitly initialize si ciphertext by an empty string. With that, if we are going to rerun again our program, you would have an amazing world. Bitaw joke lang. You would have there the value without null, without null concatenated to our hello encrypted message. Okay, so if you can do that to your constructor, sir, is it possible to create another encrypt message that, or encryption that does that? Of course, you can have that one. Let's say public void encrypt. What happened to my Eclipse? Ano naging ato? So you can actually do void encrypt with the plain text and the key. Okay, instead of course this one, what you will need to do is copy this one and then paste it right here. So yeah, something like that. You can do the, instead of, okay, if we are going to call this, of course, you can simply call this from here, like you wanna, let's say Cesar2, and then you just instantiate the Cesar using default constructor because you plan to call the encrypt overloaded constructor, which assigns or which allows the user to actually give right, put in or something like assign a string value to it, and then let's say we are going to assign key. So it is possible because we just created that encrypt method inside of our ADT. So once we get to test run it in our program, we okay, wala pa di ay, sorry, excited lang. So we have here in Cesar2 dot get ciphertext. There. So you have there. Oh, what happened? Encrypt Cesar2 get ciphertext, and why is that so? Nawala na display, Cesar cipher eclipse. So let's check. I see. Because, okay, what happens here is that we instantiate the value of plain text like this one. So ang nahitabo here would be, so we assign plain text with key and plain text dot length. So tama, tama, tama. And then we have here ciphertext as a value. So yeah, so it's right what happened. So we have here okay. So dapat 2 din siya. Sorry class. So kulang ta. So kasi na-confuse ko sa Cesar dapat 1. Anyway, Cesar 2 dapat kasi Cesar 2 man atong object dire. So when we get to run it, we'll have here MK, QTX, blah, 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 something like that. So, sir, is there any possible that we can like enhance our encrypt into something like a value returning? Yeah, you can do that, no? So, as much as you like to do it, then do it. So, let's say it's a value returning encrypt. Let's say it is going to return directly the text or the ciphertext. So you can actually do that. However, since we have already the name that says encrypt, so why not change this into something like encrypt est? So yeah, encrypt est na lang. And then this program would now, or this method would now, okay, pwede na siya by, let's say, Cesar3, and then we can directly call uh, Cesar 3 dot encrypt s. So encrypt s, that's the that's the method that we just created earlier. So let's say we are going to do structure. Yeah. And then the key is, let's say, so again ha, don't ask me na ang key sir pwede ba input? Of course, pwede na siya input from the user. What we just did is para dili na ta masingkayog input. I know that is not new to you. So again, we can use mga fixed na values. If you wanna ask the user to enter a value for your plain text, you can actually ask that an even key for from an even key for or key value for from your user. So if we run this program, instead of kani, as you can see ato ang Cesar 3 is, instead of, kung napansin niyo atong encrypt, because it's void here sa Cesar 2, we used to call the encrypt with void method or with void definition, compared to Cesar 3 with encrypt s, that is it's going to return directly in the encrypted text. But of course, this one is a lot structured. Parang you first do the encryption and then before you get the ciphertext. And this one is actually a lot parang mas easy to understand kasi you are able to accept plain text muna and then set the key and then encrypt, and then before you display get ciphertext. But then again, there's no problem with this one. So it depends to you, no, kung uh, depende na sa imong algorithm. Okay, so that's for encryption process. Now, how about, sir, if you try to look at it or observe what happened in our program, there are certain outputs in our ciphertext that are, check ninyo, there are characters there that are actually parang characters that are not part of the alphabet or English alphabet. So what we can do for that is we are going uh, to do a what they call this one, a certain condition. No, a certain condition that if ever the if ever the character is going to be it's going to be like mula pa siya from the alphabets A to Z, we will do some error trapping for that. Okay? So how do we do that, sir? So secret inyo palang MID. So this time atong buhaton would be ato ning i ato ni siyang buhaton diri na, let's say, what we can do for that is una, okay, first is nakuha na nimo ang you have here the key, the plain text, no? Ayan. So we can now do something like if ch, okay, if the character is going to like to be more than the value z. Oh, by the way, lahi biya ang values sa lowercase and uppercase, no? So, but this time, i-lowercase na nato siya. Okay, I'm gonna show you later on sa difference kung uppercase. So, if ever na in ana ang, meaning to say, if more than z na ang character, what we are going to do is, let's have here, so if ch is greater than z, we are going to do the parang minus let's say the so we'll need to sorry guys, we'll need to first capture muna the character plus, so let's have here an integer value. So we have here, let's say, uh, alpha value or something like inana na lang. O sige. So you'll have alpha value, or it depends sa imo kung unsa ang imuhang gamiton na variable. So we have here, let's say, alpha value. Okay, alpha value. Or you can actually use CHDI, no? Pwede na si CH yung gamiton. Sige, wait ha. So, there's nothing wrong with using CH instead of alpha val. But this time, we are going to use the modulus division in such a way that kung pila ka number of characters, or pila ka characters sa English alphabet, which is actually 26, okay? So, that is what we are going to do, no? So, you have here key, so wait for a while, key modulus to 26. So this one would capture the value. Okay, just wait for a while. Plain text, sorry, plain text dot carat. Yan. So this time, since character siya, so this time i-convert na to ang character by ch, I mean by int, or we can use alpha value. Kaya pala kailangan nato siya i-convert into integer value. Okay? So this one, ang ginabuhat ani is kwaon niya ang ASCII code value, no? So ASCII code value of, let's say, let's say we have here x, y, sige, AXB. So this is our, let's say, plain text, AXB. And then, as we all know, the plain text, the ASCII code of A is 97, while the ASCII code of X is, I don't know, what's the ASCII code of X? So that's 97 plus 26. How much is that? Pila ang 97 plus 1 plus 26? That is 100, 130, 130 pila, 130, 30, 33, no? 130, 123, 1, basta, yeah, so kinsa may mga ano rigma, 97 plus 120, 97 plus 26. So this is 100, 123. So that's the, try i-check sana. Pwede man nato i-check, no? Anong di good? I-check sana to. I-check nato be. Okay, don't you worry, i-check nato. Yeah. So this is 123. Yeah. Dili. So pila to dapat? 197, 123. So ang 97 is, yeah, A. So tama. Okay? So kung 97 plus 126 is actually pila gani? 123. So dapat, okay. Oh yeah, tama dai ko. Dapat ibalik niya to letter in a parang circular. Bali kung molapas na siya Z, mobalik siya so to A, B, C, D. But it happened na dili siya mobalik, no? So that is why since lapas siya sa English alphabet ang 123, mao tong nag-condition ta. Mao tong atong gibuhat dire, sorry for that. So since 123 is more than, kasi ang Z, unsay alphabet sa Z? Ay unsay ASCII code sa Z? 97 plus, uh 97 plus 26 is, try na to, 122 basin, this would give us Z. Tama? Z, no? Kita ninyo? Hello? Nakita niyo, class? Okay. So ang ASCII code 122 is Z. So pag more than 122 na, let's say 123, it's the other character anymore. So mao tong ang 123 di ay, we understood that 123 would give us kani. Kani ba or kadto? Ana? Basta either sa duha. Para tanaw na lang nato kung unsa jud. So it's actually ay baliktad. So it's actually open curly braces. So with that, what we are going to do with this when it is going to be mag-exceed siya sa 122, okay? So mo na to ang ano karon, dapat mubalik siya sa A instead of Z, instead of kani nga character. So dapat mobalik siya sa A, which is mobalik siya to, i-convert niya into, mahimo siya balik into 97. Okay? So 123 para mobalik siya to 197, unsa tong buhaton? So ASCII code of this one is 123, which is this one is 123 minus pila dapat atong para mobalik siya to 97, mag minus pila ta? 26. Pila na? 123 minus 26. So dapat mobalik siya sa A. So tama na ta. So dapat mobalik siya sa A if mula pa siya Z. Nakuha? Okay. So with that, okay. So tama ato ang algorithm in doing so. So here, okay, pag sobra siya, pag ang alpha value 'Pag ang alphabet or ang ASCII code na lang is more than Z, okay? So, pwede pod na depende na sa inyo ano, kung gusto mo like if alpha Z is greater than 122, pwede na ninyo buhaton. Pero yan, what if wala ta kabalo sa numeric ASCII code of the Z. So, better safe na Z na lang. So, if more than Z ang value sa atong alpha value, atong buhaton would be okay, ano na to si alpha value minus equals to 26. So, i-minus na to, which is this time, okay, this time atong buhaton would be plus, okay. So, nawa na noon si CH. Anyway, pwede ra na si CH inyuhang inanion class na CH equals to plain text dot car at I, sorry, and then ibutang nyo si CH dire. Pwede inana. Okay? Pwede ra pod tong inato ganina akong gibuhat. Okay? So, wait ha. So, either, ayan, depende na sa inyong algorithm. So, let's say, ato na lang ano, para dili kayo siya gubot. So, like that, no? So, kuha sa nato ang character and then, character, which is the ASCII code of that, plus, pag mulapas siya by 26, meaning, ang key is 4, actually, ano siya, key, which is let's say 4 divided by 26, that's always 4, 6 divided by 26 kasi 26 atong basis for that, no? So, if mula pa siya ang value, okay, so meaning more than katong ano na kani siya, nahimo siyang 123, so 97 plus the value 123, so which is mula pa siya to Z, atong buhaton is minus na nato siya by 26 para mobalik siya sa A. So, this time, atong i-convert into character ang alpha value. So, if dili siya, sorry, alpha. Asa namang alpha value? Hindi man ni mabasa. Alpha value. Okay. Yan. So, if dili siya mosulod diri, meaning wala siya nagsobra. If nagsulod siya diri, meaning nagsobra siya, ma-change ang value sa alpha value. Mubalik siya by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, what causes the error here? Yeah, because of this one, plain something. Mm. Sir, pwede na ba wala ning modulus 226? It seems like pwede naman, sir, di ba? Pwede na wala. Pwede na, sige, try na to na later on. Okay. So, there, try na to ning alpha value. Tanaw na to if ang encrypt na to na, what is this? Encrypt lang, no? So, encrypt, let's say, X, yan, or Johnny na lang with 4. So, using the encrypt, dapat di na siya mulapas. So, let's try. So, NSLRC. So, we don't care for Jan, atong i-care karon ang Y, giunsa niya nganong nahimo siyang C. So, awa na atong i-concern karon nganong nahimo siyang C. Okay? So, basically, this is what it does. So, atong code is, or ato ang, ano is Johnny. Okay? And then, kanila atong kwaon si Y. Kay, okay naman nandyan. Okay? Behave man na sila. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that, kani si Jan kay swak man siya sa A to Z. Kaning Y atong kuanon capture. So, if ang ASCII code sa Z is 122, therefore, ang ASCII code sa Y is pila? 121. Tama? No? Okay, do you follow? Guys? So, 120. Oo. Kay 122, Ha? Dili 122 man ang Z. Tama ba? 122 man ang Z. Oo, 122 ang Z, 123 ang opening curly braces, 121 therefore ang Y. Kung tama akong math ha, kung tama among math sa high school. Okay, tama atong math. Okay, this time, ang buhaton would be dire sa plain text na Y or dire na ta diretso, saan man nato ni sa baba na lang. Para masabtan lang, no? Okay. So, actually puwede na gud dili na i-ano, pero sige lang para masabtan jud sa mga bata. So, you have here, the value of alpha value is CH, which is ang value ni CH nato is ang ASCII code sa Y is 121 plus, okay, ang value ni key, which is modulus 2, 26, which is, unsay key nato? 4. So, always 4 siya. Yan, always 4 kasi 4 divided by 26 is liba 0 and then 26 yeah, 20 tama ba? 4 divided by 26 is 4. Ang remainder niya, ang remainder ha, ang remainder. Kay 26 times 0 is 0, 4 minus 0 is 4. Nakuha, naklaro na ana, kay modulus man na remainder. Okay? So therefore ang value ani is 120 25, tama? Okay? So, kung 125 na, okay, kung 125 siya, more than siya sa Z, which is, ang, ano na is 125, greater ba daw kay 122? True ba or false? True. Am I right? So, yeah, tama. Okay. So, therefore, mag-minus ta og 125 minus 26, which is, pila yung result, ani? 125 minus 99. So, 97 is A. So, if 97 is A, atong nakita ganina, so morning medyo kaya siya medyo libog no kasi ASCII code atong inasaran. If A is 97, then B is 98, then therefore C is actually 99. So, therefore, mobalik siya to C. Dili na siya other characters. So, that's what happened in our program. So, only in the Y na part ang mag-true ni siya dire. So, after that, ma-change ang value ni alpha value by 99. So, once pag-convert na niya into character, instead of katong other character siya, so ang mahitabo is katong 99 which is equivalent ana is C. Mao nang pag-run sa imong program. So, pag-run sa imong program right here, so that's why it's C. So, you can apply that the same, no? I mean, you can apply that the same thing in your program here, no? Dire pwede ninyo na i-apply siya dire by kani siya. Yeah, so you can actually do this right here. So, di ba pag run niyo sa program na ay mga na ay mga special characters dira. So, pwede nato na siya i-change, sorry. Pwede natin i-change ang encryption here. Okay. Wait for a while. Uh, wait. Kuhaon na lang nato ning loop. Okay, nanamday tay loop no. So, ato na lang siyang kuhaon dire. Okay, para dili malibog, i-erase nato ning mga value, something like this one. Okay. And then, pwede ra mo diretso CH without alpha val na. So, pwede ra diretso CH, no? There's nothing wrong with that. So, meaning, instead of kanila yung kwaon diri ibutang diri sa plain text, then CH. Ayan. So, remove this one. And then, kaya lang, you will need to convert this into an integer value. Okay? kasi ano man na siya. And then if ang CH is more than Z, and then the value of CH will be subtracted by the 26, and then CH imong ibutang dire. Okay? So let's try. So there you are, wala na tong special characters. Ayan, you can also do the same for, okay, so pwede na po mo ni i-copy right here. And then, so let's run the program and then run it here. So there, no, nawala na ang mga special characters. Okay? So sir, katong question ako ganina, sir, what pwede ba sir na wala na lang ning like kana, oo, katong modulus blah blah blah. Okay, what happen if wala na to siya? So what happen kung wala na? Unsay nahitabo? Nganong need? Okay, kamo ako mag-ask ko sa inyong question. Why is it need to include that what? So, 'di ba, why is it needed na kailangan siya i-modulus by 26 na to? Ngano? Like instead of kuan sir, diretso lang key sir. Dili na mag-modulus. Pwede ba na? Hmm. Okay. So kung napansin ninyo, is it allowed na wala na i-modulus by 26 sir, regardless of, kasi always ang value man ana sir kay 20, always ang value sa key is bisan i-modulus nimo by 26 key man gihapon. Okay. Yes, pwede. Okay? But did you know, to be safe, okay, puwede ra wala, but to be safe, puwede ra, mas okay kung butangan niyo siya og modulus to 26 just to make sure na ang key is ano ba, ang anohon niya ang remainder value. Pero again, puwede ra gyapon wala, okay? But puwede ra gyapon wala. Do you follow nganong naa siya modulus 26 or puwede ra nganong walay modulus to 26? Kasi regardless of kung ang key nimo is, kung ang C nimo ang key ani man gud na siya, kung ang key nimo is 7, i-divide nimo na siya by 26 or dili nimo i-divide, kwaon nimo ang modulus ana. So kung kwaon nimo ang modulus niya sa 7, it's always 7. Okay? So meaning bisan pa dili nimo na siya ikwaon ang modulus, it's always 7. Okay? So kaya nalay instances na inani man God. If ang imuhang key is, what if imong key is, ani lang ang instances, what if imong key is 120, 129? What will happen kung ang imuhang key is 129? Unsa kaya mahitabo kung 129? So, unsay buhaton sa imong program karon? So kung wala ka nag-modulus, did you know that imong program would do a lot of looping, I mean a lot of shifting, no? Kasi it will do shifting as much as 129. So 129 times siya mag-shift. So that is one thing that we avoid or prevent from happening. So kaya nagbutang ta og modulus to 26 para, okay, para this will be converted into, if kwaon na to ang modulus ana niya to 26, pila yung result ani? Pila yung result? Hello? Pila yung result? I-multiply nato na siya, i-divide nato siya y, okay, ang mahitabuan na is 129 divided by 26. So, wait. So you have here 26 times 4 at 26 times 5 kay 130 man. So 26 times 4 is 104. So 129 minus 104. So ato ang value ani is 25. So at least dili siya 129 mo shift. Nakuha class. So ang shift niya is 25 lang instead of 129. Do you understand? Wala.